I was like any other kid, growing up playing with the neighbors' children. Our closest neighbors were my maternal aunt and her daughters. Her two eldest daughters got married, leaving only the youngest. She and I grew up together, playing, fighting, and bickering just like any two kids. As time passed, she turned 20 and I turned 22. Unlike her sisters, she was highly ambitious and focused on her studies. My mother and sisters were always praising her. On the other hand, I was not responsible at all. I didn't think about marriage. I was all about traveling, hanging out at lounges, and spending time with my friends. I simply wasn't ready for commitment. One day, I came home to find my mother and sisters dressed up in their obvious. I asked where they were going, and they said, "We're going to your aunt's house. Someone is coming to propose to her youngest daughter." I told them I'd drop them off. When we arrived, my aunt's husband saw me and insisted, swearing by oaths, that I come in for coffee. I felt awkward because I wasn't dressed up, just wearing a plain thobe, but I went in. After the second cup of coffee, I excused myself, saying I had to meet friends. As I was getting into my car, a SUV pulled up and three women, an older man and a young man, stepped out. I knew they were the suitors. I didn't care much at the time. The next day at lunch, my mother started grumbling. She said, "That girl doesn't appreciate blessings. She's strange." I asked what happened, and she told me my cousin had rejected the proposal without even going down to meet them. Honestly, I felt a spark of joy inside, but I ignored it. 2 months passed. I traveled and came back. My sisters and mother were talking about her again, wondering why she kept refusing everyone. Then, one day I got a WhatsApp message from an unknown number. "Hi, I'm cousin's name." I was worried something had happened to the family, but she said she just needed help with a research paper for a specific subject I was good at. I agreed, and for 2 days I worked on finishing the half she hadn't done. I printed it out and left it at their door. I was surprised by how bold and friendly she was with me, but I brushed it off. Over time, we started talking every day. She became part of my routine. It was an innocent relationship. She told me every detail of her day, from a cake that didn't turn out right to a fight with her brother. I knew everything about her, even her favorite color. After 2 years, she was deeply attached to me, and I had grown used to her presence. One day, she told me suitors were coming the next day. I told her to refuse like she always did, but she shocked me by saying, "No, I'm going to accept and get married." I felt a heavy weight in my chest. I immediately went to my parents and told them I was ready to settle down. My mother was overjoyed and started suggesting beautiful girls, but I told her, "I want my cousin." My parents were happy to agree. I went silent on my cousin for 2 days. On the day we went to formally propose, I thought it would be a surprise she'd love. But her father and brothers gave us a devastating answer. They had already given their word to another family. My parents knew suitors had been there, but I had hoped she would pick me. I left feeling suffocated. My father tried to comfort me, saying it wasn't meant to be, but I was devastated. That night, she messaged me, "Strange, you're home late. That's not like you." I ignored it. The next day, my mother told me my aunt called. The girl wanted me and had rejected the other guy by finding a million flaws in him. My heart soared. We went back, proposed again, and everything went perfectly. 3 months of bliss followed as we prepared for the official marriage contract, wedding. But on the morning of the wedding, I woke up with an unbearable feeling of dread and suffocation. I felt a heavy burden on my chest. I tried to shake it off, went to the barber, and got ready. After the evening prayer, guests started arriving. My best friend, who is also my brother-in-law, was joking around, but I couldn't smile. I told him I needed some air. At that moment, the devil entered my head. I got in my car and just drove. I wanted to be as far away as possible. My brother-in-law called me, yelling, "Are you crazy? Come back, you're going to cause a scandal." But I didn't listen. I fell asleep in my car and woke up 2 hours later to 50 missed calls from everyone. My parents, sisters, and even her brother. I didn't call anyone back. I went straight to the airport and caught a flight out of the country. I didn't return for 2 days. When I finally walked into my house, the atmosphere was funeral-like. My father was angrier than I'd ever seen him, and my mother was a mix of terror and reproach. My sister told me how my cousin had spent the night crying, convinced I was just playing a prank and would show up. A year passed. Four more suitors came for her, and each time, I felt jealous and miserable. I visited sheiks thinking I was cursed or hexed, but nothing changed. Then came the black day. I walked in to find my parents sitting in an eerie silence. My father said, "Your cousin got married yesterday." The world went black. I realized I loved her and wanted her, but I was too broken to marry her, yet I couldn't stand anyone else having her. In an act of pure spite and human filth, I waited until I saw her new husband leaving their house. I approached him and showed him everything on my phone. Our private chats, the photos she sent me while studying or at weddings, and her messages saying I hope we get married soon. He lost his mind. He hit me, and I drove away cursing him. A day later, I heard he divorced her. I felt a twisted sense of relief that he hadn't won. On the day of her graduation, a day she had dreamed of, they had a small party. At midnight, I nervously called her. She answered, asking who it was. I asked, "Did you delete my number?" She screamed. She insulted me with everything she had and ended it with a prayer that I will never forget. May God never grant you success wherever you go, and may you never taste happiness. Her prayer came true. I was fired from my job for lack of commitment. I lost my best friend. Debts piled up. My relationship with my mother and sisters is ruined because of my dark moods. Even my brother-in-law won't look me in the face. I wish from the bottom of my heart that she would forgive me, so my life could return to normal.